lovely people, it's Nicole and it is day 5 of the BookTubeAthon. Very exciting, we're getting close to the end. Done a lot of reading this week, but today's challenge before we get into the reading update is to make a class reading list for any kind of class you could possibly want to teach and to include one of the books from your BookTubeAthon TBR into it. I am just now touching my BookTubeAthon TBR, so this is a little difficult, but I think I put together a reading list that makes sense and would work. This fictional class that I am teaching is going to be about heroes and different kinds of heroes throughout literature and history. So the first one that I'm starting with that is from my TBR is The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, Squirrel Meets World by Shannon Hale and Dean Hale. And this I think I will use to sort of as a jumping off point. It's an origin story, and I can also reference comics and use those as base points for teaching this, to talk about comic book heroes and sort of the stereotypical heroes that we see in pop culture currently. Because Squirrel Girl is a comic book hero, this one is a novel, but it's the closest thing I had on my TBR. And then, of course, surprise, surprise, we're gonna read Harry Potter, specifically focusing on the romantic hero versus the Byronic hero in Harry versus Draco. Harry is much more of a romantic hero, being the brave, noble, sort of, you know, has to save everyone kind of hero, and Draco presents as more of a Byronic hero, a little more dark and broody, and his morals may be not quite so clear-cut. And then I want to use the Percy Jackson theories to talk about Greek heroes and talk about how those sort of differ in definition from our current concept of heroes. Obviously, we could also read like any major Greek work of literature, Iliad, Odyssey, whatever, but I just really like Percy Jackson, so we're reading Percy Jackson. Just because I think it's really interesting that the Greek concept of heros is not necessarily based in morality, it's more based in someone who did something memorable. And then I want to read Dreadnought by April Daniels, and this is to talk sort of about some of the struggles that can go on behind the scenes of heroics and how the hero persona that we see on the outside isn't necessarily a complete view of who that person is. And then for the final book we will be reading in this class is Vicious by V.E. Schwab, to talk a little bit more about moral complexities of heroes, and specifically anti-heroes and villains, because both of the main characters in this are sort of gray morality, kind of anti-heroes, kind of villains. So I just think it's really interesting to talk about. And again, just a great book. Hi Mickey, do you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Say hi Mickey. Hi. Hi BookTubeAthon. Kitty says hi. She's a good girl. Hi. Alright, and now for the reading update. Last night I finished The Wicked and the Just by J. Anderson Coates, and I enjoyed it. I have a more in-depth discussion on Goodreads, but basically I think it was really well written. I think it did what it accomplished, but it was not quite to my taste. It was a little on the slow-paced side, and some of the sort of relationship development and tension building was a little bit subtler than I like. I like my book to be a little bit more punchy. And then I started reading this morning 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray, finally getting to things that were actually on my TBR at the beginning of the week. This was my cover by book, because like look at this cover, it's gorgeous. And I'm enjoying this more than I thought it was. I've had this on my TBR for like 2 years, and I'm just now getting around to reading it just because I thought it would be kind of mediocre, entertaining, but not much more than that, and I am pleasantly surprised. I have about another 150 or so pages to read on this, and then I'll be moving on to whatever I feel like reading next. So let me know how you guys are in your reading. I love you, and I will see you later.